Hello viewers, in today's video we will talk about the pop menu. Just like we learned how to add a navigation menu and how to add a mega menu, in this comprehensive video, our primary topic of discussion is the versatile pop menu. So what exactly is a pop menu and how does it function? If you have it meticulously set up in your website's header section, when a user deliberately clicks on the designated menu element, a dynamic and interactive menu will gracefully open up for them, revealing a wealth of options. There are indeed multiple distinct types of pop menus available, and within each of these types, there are often multiple organized lists of items. So basically, what you visually perceive displayed prominently here on the screen is precisely what is referred to as a pop menu. In this detailed video tutorial, we will thoroughly learn the intricate process of how we can effectively build this essential menu, how we can meticulously create it from the ground up. If we navigate to the administrative dashboard or specifically to the WP Theme Builder section, as I previously mentioned, our powerful theme builder significantly helps us with the creation of custom headers, unique footers, individual single pages, comprehensive archive pages, sophisticated mega menus, engaging pop-ups, informative 404 pages, and much more. Since we are specifically discussing the pop menu, in this context, we will carefully select pop-up from the available options here as our chosen template. We will then proceed to thoughtfully name it pop menu, subsequently turn on the crucial pop menu functionality, and ensure it is displayed consistently across the entire website for a seamless user experience. We will then save and meticulously edit it, and the system will automatically redirect us to the powerful Elementor interface. Once we are successfully within Elementor, we can creatively design the pop menu however we meticulously like, adding various elements and styling options. So let's now see in detail how we can effectively build such a menu. We'll comprehensively show you how to create a complete and fully functional menu from start to finish. First, we will carefully take a container element and set its width to full width to occupy the available space. As you observed in the initial demo, we have multiple distinct tabs within our pop menu. So first we will add the tab element, which is a default and readily available element within Elementor. When we add these tabs, we will be presented with multiple convenient options to easily change the individual tab names to suit our content. Let's suppose we decide to name the first tab shoes, the second tab jeans, and the third tab shirts. Basically, we are systematically adding various menu items to our pop menu. Let's add one more tab and thoughtfully name it trousers. So basically, we have created all three items now. It depends on us whether we want to place them at the top, on the side, or at the bottom. We have settings below that let you choose where you want to display them: above, after, or before. We will select before and display them before. After that, we have the option to justify them to the center. When we center them, you can see that they will align online. We'll further adjust their width. We have adjusted their width, and we will center the line titles as well. These are basically our initial settings. If you want to change the styling further, you can go ahead and do that. In the style section, we have the tab settings here. You can set how much gap you want between the tabs. You can also decide how much distance you want between the tabs and the content. That's up to you. After that, you can choose the background color, what background color you want to set and what you want it to be on hover. Let's change the color on hover. After that, we have the active state. This is the active state. What color do you want to set for the active tab right now? You can select the color as you wish. Next, we have the title. What color do you want for the titles? You can make the title color completely black. On hover, you can set the title color to white. On the active tab, you can also set the title color to white, or whatever your color scheme is, you will manage it accordingly. Now these tabs have been created. Now we need to add data to these tabs. These tabs come with a container where we can add data. If you click on structure, you will see 4 tabs. If you click on the first tab, you might want to place a container inside the first tab. Place a container and it will be added inside. You can assign it full width if you want. Similarly, if you want to place a container inside another container, just click on the container and add another container inside it. Again, if you want to add 2 containers, you can add another container again. Now, if we set this container to display flex, both of our containers will become horizontal. We want to add an image to the first container, so we'll add an image. We'll choose an image. We can upload it from our system or select one from our library. So our first element is related to shoes. So let's add an image of shoes. Along with that, in the second container, we specifically want to add a listlet, suppose, for instance, that we intend to maintain a comprehensive list. So we'll proceed to add a list element there within that particular section. Inside this, you can add as many list items as you want. Let's look at Amis quality leather Italian handmade shoes. After that, you can choose any other quality that shoes have. Let's make it non-leather. After that, we have the last option left. Whatever you want to keep in the last option, you can set it as you wish. Ready-made anything like this, you can set according to your preference. If you see that there are icons appearing alongside and you want to delete an icon, you can easily delete it. Our icons have been deleted. Now, we don't really know what this menu we have actually is, so we want to add a heading above it. So we'll go and add a heading. Here we'll name our heading quality. We'll change its color, and then we'll go into its typography and set a size so that it looks attractive. After that, we want this menu we've added right now. There's no line height. Everything is too close together. We can add some space between them. Now, if you want your valuable content to appear in a very specific and precise place within your layout, you can quite easily and effectively display it right there in the absolute center of your design. Furthermore, you can also perfectly center your main heading, ensuring it stands out prominently. So basically, our very first and initial tab is now completely ready and fully prepared. In precisely the same manner and following the same process, we will then move on to creating the second tab, let's say. For instance, we have a dedicated jeans tab. For this particular section, we want to meticulously create a single well-organized row here, which will contain just one prominent image. We will proceed to add an image, any suitable image you desire and prefer. I personally added an image that is specifically related to jeans, perhaps showcasing different styles or washes, but you are absolutely free to manage and arrange your content exactly as you personally like and deem fit for your project. Now, if we want to effectively showcase a comprehensive list directly below this current element, we will simply proceed to add a prominent heading and then meticulously ensure that it is displayed perfectly in the very center of the available space. Furthermore, if you ever wish to completely change its descriptive title, you possess the full capability to do that with ease. For instance, you could rename it to something like jeans variety to be more specific. Similarly, you also have the complete flexibility to effortlessly change its visual color if that is your desired preference. To achieve this, you should navigate directly to the typography settings and then carefully give it a proper, aesthetically pleasing, and appropriately sized font size to ensure optimal readability and visual appeal. So at this point, we've just added 2 menus and basically our pop-up is now ready. Now we need to place this on the front end where our pop-up is appearing. We have to move it and add a new pop-up. But if you look here, there's a close button showing up which helps us close the pop-up. So we'll also add a close button to our pop-up. Let's suppose we take an icon and place it at the top. We can change this icon. There's a window close icon, so we've used that. If we want to change its color, we can do that too. You can also change its size as you like. You can also choose where you want to display it. If you give it some margin from here, for example, a little margin from the left, it will move into place. Now basically our pop-up is completely ready and fully functional. Now we specifically need to add this newly created pop-up to our existing header section. So we simply have to meticulously edit our header using the powerful Elementor page builder. Our header has already been almost entirely edited and designed within Elementor at this precise point in time. So now we will carefully see and demonstrate exactly how to effectively assign the custom pop-up we have just created to the designated menu button. This is in fact the most crucial and fundamentally important part of this entire comprehensive video tutorial. It is absolutely essential that you thoroughly learn and understand how to properly assign your custom design pop-up to its intended location. In the header menu, when you click on the menu and go to the Advanced tab, you will see that a CSS ID is already assigned, which is for our first pop-up menu. So here we'll assign the ID of our own pop-up menu. To do this, go to where you created the pop-up. You'll see an option for post settings, click on it. You'll have an option called pop-up options. Here you can select when you want the pop-up to show, on page load, on click, on hover, and so on. There are multiple options. We'll set it to show on click. Then we'll decide the position of our pop-up where on the page it should appear. We'll set it to the top left corner. After that, if you scroll down, you'll see that shortcodes have been generated for us. Pop-up trigger for open. To open the pop-up, when we click, our pop-up will open. We need to copy this ID and assign it to our menu button. The most important thing here is that Elementor does not allow you to copy this directly. You need to inspect the element, and after inspecting, copy the ID from the code. Then simply go to the header where you edited with Elementor. With this particular menu, you will indeed need to carefully click on it and then proceed to navigate to the Advanced tab. Once you are in the Advanced tab, your next crucial step is to meticulously replace the existing identification number or ID with the newly provided one. Here, one very important and often overlooked detail is that you absolutely must remember to remove the hash symbol, which is typically found at the beginning of the ID. After successfully making these changes, you should then publish your page to ensure all modifications are saved and applied. When you subsequently reload your front-end page, you will observe that the menu you have specifically assigned will now begin to function as intended. However, when you initially click on it, you might notice that your menu isn't appearing as expected. You might wonder, why is that happening? The primary reason for this is that even though we copied the menu ID, we did not publish it immediately, which essentially means we failed to save our settings properly at that moment. Now, after diligently and properly saving our settings, when we load our front page once again, our menu will finally be in a fully working condition, ready for use. Now when you click on the menu, you will clearly see that the menu we meticulously created is indeed visible and fully functional. We had previously added an image, a comprehensive list, and a distinct title. And you will notice that all of those elements are now showing up perfectly. If you proceed to click on the other tab, you will see that we had just added an image and a title to that section, and those specific elements are also visibly present. However, if you click here or attempt to use the cross button, you might find that the pop-up does not disappear as it should. It still remains visible on the screen. So just as we carefully copied a shortcode to effectively open the pop-up, we now need to navigate to the pop-up settings and meticulously copy the specific shortcode designed for closing the pop-up, which is conveniently available below and labeled as pop-up trigger for close. You must copy this particular shortcode and then, with precision, assign it to the designated close button. Go directly to the close button settings, and as I previously mentioned, you will need to assign the CSS ID here. You should perform this action in precisely the same manner as you did for the open shortcode. Remember to remove the hash symbol here as well. ensuring consistency. Once these adjustments are made, publish your settings to save all the changes. Now that our settings are thoroughly saved and applied, let's go back to our front end, reload our front page, and meticulously check if our open and close buttons for the menu are now working as they should. When we click on the menu, it opens smoothly, which confirms that the open button is working perfectly fine. Now when we proceed to click on the close button, you can clearly see that the close button is also functioning correctly and effectively closing the pop-up. So in this comprehensive video, dear viewers, we have learned in detail how to create a functional pop-up menu and importantly how to assign it seamlessly to the header of your website. We already had a button conveniently named main and we successfully assigned our pop-up to it. If you wish to add another button for this purpose and there isn't one readily available in your current setup, you can simply go to the header section, and just like this existing button is added, you can easily add another icon with a different and distinct name. Add the new icon directly into the header and then subsequently assign the appropriate CSS ID classes or shortcodes to it. This newly added button will then effectively open the menu for you, and any close button you add will also work perfectly in conjunction with it. So basically, in this detailed video, we thoroughly covered how to create a versatile menu and how to assign it efficiently to the header of your website. I sincerely hope you understood everything explained in this tutorial, and when you proceed to create your own menu, you will not face any kind of difficulty or challenge whatsoever. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. Please take care.